Here is a 1500-word style expanded story continuation you can use for YouTube storytelling. Little girl fixes $50 million supercar after 30 engineers failed. What she did shocked everyone. When 30 of the world's top engineers failed to fix a $50 million prototype supercar, no one expected the solution would come from a quiet 12-year-old girl standing in the corner of the garage. The massive glass doors of the Redwood Automotive Research Center slid open as another engineer stepped away from the sleek silver machine with a frustrated sigh. The car was unlike anything the world had ever seen. A one-of-a-kind prototype designed to revolutionize the future of transportation. But there was just one problem. It wouldn't start. For 3 days, 30 elite engineers from around the world had been trying to diagnose the issue. They ran diagnostics, replaced sensors, checked the software. Nothing worked. The billionaire owner of the project, Victor Redwood, stood with his arms crossed, his patience wearing thin. "This car cost me $50 million, he said sharply. "And the best engineers in the world can't even make it start." Silence filled the garage. No one had an answer. Standing near the entrance was a man named Carlos, the building's maintenance technician. He had been quietly fixing lights and cleaning tools while the engineers worked. Beside him was his daughter, Sophia. Sophia had come with her father after school because he couldn't afford a babysitter that day. She stood quietly, watching everything. Her curious eyes moved from the car's open hood to the complicated diagnostic screens glowing nearby. Carlos noticed her staring. "Don't get too close," he whispered gently. "That machine costs more than everything we own combined." Sophia nodded, but she kept observing. For a long moment, she watched the engineers discuss complex systems. Then something caught her attention. A small blinking light on the vehicle's central control unit. Her brow furrowed. She tugged on her father's sleeve. "Papa, why is that light blinking like that?" Carlos chuckled softly. "That's far beyond us, sweetheart. Those people are engineers." But Sophia didn't look convinced. Across the garage, the lead engineer suddenly shut his laptop. "I'm sorry, Mr. Redwood," he said. "We've tried everything. We might need to transport the car back to the design lab." Victor Redwood's frustration exploded. Unbelievable. His voice echoed across the facility. All this talent, and no one can figure out a simple malfunction. The room went quiet. That's when Sophia slowly raised her hand. At first, no one noticed. Then one of the engineers turned. Sir," he said awkwardly, pointing. "There's a kid raising her hand." Victor looked over, confused. "Yes." Sophia hesitated, then stepped forward. I know what's wrong." For a moment, the entire room burst into laughter. One engineer wiped tears from his eyes. "Kid," he said kindly, "this car has an AI-controlled hybrid propulsion system and over 200 sensors." But Sophia pointed toward the car. "That blinking light means the safety loop is incomplete." The laughter faded. The engineers looked at each other. "How would you know that?" one asked. Sophia shrugged. "My dad fixes generators. When the safety loop isn't closed, they blink like that too." The lead engineer frowned and looked again at the blinking indicator. He slowly opened the diagnostic panel. His eyes widened. "Wait," he began typing rapidly. Another engineer leaned over his shoulder. "What is it?" The lead engineer swallowed. She might be right. The entire team rushed around the car. Within minutes they found it. A tiny connection inside the safety monitoring system hadn't fully locked into place. The system believed the vehicle's cooling circuit wasn't secure. Because of that, the car's computer refused to start the engine. 30 engineers had been looking for a complex software failure. But the issue was just a simple safety lock. The lead engineer gently pushed the connector into place. The blinking light turned solid green. Everyone held their breath. Victor Redwood stepped forward. "Try it." The engineer pressed the ignition button. For a second, nothing happened. Then the garage erupted with the deep, powerful hum of the world's most advanced supercar coming to life. The entire room froze. It worked. Perfectly. One by one, the engineers slowly turned toward Sophia. No one was laughing now. Victor Redwood walked toward the girl. His expression had completely changed. "You saw that, from across the room?" he asked quietly. Sophia nodded. "I just noticed the blinking pattern." Victor knelt slightly to meet her eyes. "How old are you?" 12. He looked at Carlos. "Your daughter has better instincts than half the engineers in this room." Carlos looked stunned. I didn't even know she understood things like that." Victor stood up and thought for a moment. Then he smiled. "Sophia," he said, "how would you like to visit this lab anytime you want?" Her eyes widened. "Really?" "Yes." And when you're older, if you still love machines. He pointed at the car. You'll always have a place here. The engineers nodded in agreement. That day, something extraordinary had happened. Not just because a 12-year-old solved a problem that stumped 30 experts. But because everyone in that room was reminded of a powerful truth. Sometimes genius doesn't come from titles, degrees, or years of experience. Sometimes it comes from curiosity. From observation. From a young mind that simply dares to look where no one else does. And on that unforgettable day, the smallest person in the room taught the biggest lesson of all. If you want, I can also give you a stronger YouTube hook. First 10 seconds. SEO title ideas. Description plus tags. Thumbnail text that increases center fire 1500 watt.